Hello, YouTube. We're live at the Roundhouse, the Roundhouse Community Center, and we're celebrating our field house. We've had 3 years with the field house, and it was from the Parks Board that gave it to us, and we're here celebrating all the different field houses in Vancouver. So let's go take a quick look, shall we? I need my glasses. I can't see anything without them.
Field Guides. Field Guides 2017 marks the culmination of the second cycle of the Park Board's Field House Studio program, an initiative that transforms former caretaker suites in parks across Vancouver into active spaces for community-engaged practices. Artist collectives, food, greening, and environmental groups are given 3 years of free access to studio space in exchange for engaging neighbors, colleagues, and curious visitors in imaginative, collaborative work in parks. We started this program in 2012 with 7 field houses, and in 2017 there are 22 active field house studios. Field Guides offers a glimpse into this unique work that is happening in 17 field houses across Vancouver, and celebrates the variety of ways that these inspiring projects lead community into deeper conversations about creativity and living together in the urban environment. So now I'd like to invite Park Board Commissioner Michael Wheelock to say a few words in his fabulous Roundhouse t-shirt.
Thank you. I'll probably have to hold it. Yeah, on behalf of the board, my name is Michael Wheelock. I'm the chair of the Vancouver Park Board. We've been delighted to see this program grow. Throughout the kind of phase, we weren't really sure what to see at first. It's one of those things that people always ask what's happening with the field houses. There's some weird project happening one near my house, but it's just amazing to see that we're now at 22, 15 with the arts, but now we moved in this year to bring in food. So we're looking at fresh fruits, different sports organizations, so there's so many uses, and I think it's great to hear some of the stories where Instant Coffee, where they got booted out of their art space, and that's something in Vancouver with the affordability crisis that we have, that sometimes we need to find other ways to continue to keep the people in our neighborhoods, and that's where Park Board's been able to be very vital to kind of step up. And I think this is one of the ways that we've stepped up, is we've allowed people to come in. And we have to thank our staff, because our staff helped push this idea through. This is not an idea that's really easy to push through. When we're looking at different ways of how to utilize these field houses and security of parks and what has always been done or what's the status quo, for someone to come through and say we're going to change that and we're going to put in a comic strip, not to put you guys right here, a comic group that's going to come in and draw comics, and they're going to utilize that space, and people go, why them? Why do they get to do it? But their staff came through with a brilliant plan, and I think the execution has really been, not only because of our staff, but about the artists that have really stepped up and made sure that they delivered on the promises that they were going to do with each one of the field houses, so that this program could continue. Because if the artists didn't step up this last 3 years and deliver the projects that you see around here, it would be really hard to say that we were going to do this again. But now we're not even asking that question. The question is, what are we going to do with the new ones? How are we going to continue to grow this program further? And so I think that is, so I want to thank all the artists in the room, because I think you guys have done a fantastic job. And as we continue to grow, I mean, the A-frame in Stanley Park looks like it's going to be a intergovernmental with the 3 local First Nations. We're going to have artists out of that. So I think that is a key component, is that we are looking at what we can do moving forward, how do we build different relationships. So I think that is another key component, is how do we continue to grow the project and how do we keep moving forward. So yeah, thank the staff that's here, continue to support the projects, continue to push the innovation so we can continue to find it. Let's keep attracting bigger, new artists to be involved. I saw a 3D movie for the first time from these guys, which is by the B-roll, which is fantastic. And so it's just great to see us kind of make changes and get wowed. And you guys are bringing in the public, which is great to see. The community gets involved. And that part we have to continue, because parks belong to the public, and we need to make sure that when you are utilizing a place, that we make that place open. So as much as we can, have the doors open so people can poke their heads in and go, why are you wearing that amazing outfit and what does it mean? Right? So those are the type, right? So that's the kind of community. Kids can play with the instruments, or kids can learn how to make a movie, and there's tons of different projects that we can do, but I really think we need to keep the doors open, because that is part of what, when I used to work in Granville Island, made Granville Island special, is that even though that was a place of work, you could poke your head in and say, what are you doing with that model making here? How are you blowing glass? And I think that was a key component to grow that culture, and I think we need to do that with our field houses. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael, for those kind words and your incredible encouragement. So exhibitions are funny things, especially when you speak about community-engaged practice. Exhibitions sort of make everybody focus on objects on walls, rather than on the incredible processes that bring us to this place through projects that are about relationships and encounters and connection and experimentation and creation. And so with that in mind, I'd like to bring up some members of the Iris Collective who are working at the Falaise Park Fieldhouse to speak a little bit about their experience in this project.
Hi. So yes, we're the Iris Film Collective. There are 8 of us. A few of us are in the audience as well. My name is Alex McKenzie, and we focus on actual film that you can touch and see through. And we primarily are interested in using it in experimental ways, in ways that are kind of non-narrative and abstract. And we have our exhibit kind of over in that corner, if you want to have a look. So we first got together about a year before this program began, or before we were aware of this program. And we're meeting regularly and putting on events, film exhibit type events, and making our own work, and kind of, exchanging film chemistry recipes and ideas, and looking for film stock. And because this material is becoming kind of more rarefied and less common, it's become sort of like, I don't know, like something that you really have to dig around for to explore and seek out. So after about a year, or a little less than a year, we discovered this fieldhouse concept. And I have to say, personally, I was blown away. I just thought, there are these buildings and parks that are sitting vacant, and now they can become studios. Great! Like, I just thought, way to go, Vancouver. Like, I honestly felt like, this doesn't seem like something Vancouver would normally do, but good for them. And what's the catch, And kind of, there is no catch, except that you do need to, express your whatever it is you make, whatever your artistic expression is, to the public, and preferably to as many people around your field house as you possibly can. And so it was kind of a shoe-in for us in a way, or an obvious thing for us to do, because we do this already. Like, we're already exhibiting to the public, and we're trying to put things in public spaces, in parks, outdoor screenings. So it just seemed like a really obvious fit. And so we've been doing this now for 3 years. We put on shows regularly. We've converted our field house into a kind of a dark room and meeting space. So we managed to block out all the windows and process film in there. We also use it as a small screening space, as well as an artist talk space. And we have events out of doors, right outside in the park, as well as other parks around the city. And we've done a few collaborations with some of the other field houses along the way, which is great. So for us, it's been a real gift, and a way and a place to meet. Really has been the most important thing for us, a way and a place to find ourselves and find out what it is we're up to together as a collective and individually, and then also to express that to a larger public. So yeah, huge thanks to the program and everyone who's involved. We've dealt with numerous people over the last 3 years, and everyone's been just really like, what do you need to make this work? Which is has been really amazing. Do you want to come up and say anything? No. There's a possibility of somebody else speaking tonight. So, yeah, I don't really have that much more to say. One thing I do want to stress is something you mentioned earlier, that this is something, the things that people are doing really are activated and not so much wall-type art. And of course, these are a bunch of movable walls and things are on them. But please move into the spaces. I was just looking at Public Secrets and I was blown away by what's going on, you know, once you start reading the cards and seeing what's happening. And Vancouver Society of Storytelling, like there's some really amazing things happening that are very interactive and inclusive. And so yeah, I encourage you to just go right up to those boards and realize that they're not flat, one-dimensional things, that there's a lot going on. And I was really just chuffed to see how much is happening and how active all the other field houses have been. So thanks to the program and thanks for all of you coming out. And who's next?
So there's a lot of people to thank tonight. There are artists and gardeners and environmentalists and cooks, most of whom are here tonight. They do incredible work cracking open the daily life of art and creative practice in our parks and in our community centers. I am going to identify all of you by project names, so please wave so that the audience can see who you are. Locomoto Art Collective out at Aberthow West Point Grey. The Invasive Species Council at Adenac Park. Contemporary Art Gallery, Burrard Marina. Lexi Owen from Burrard View Park is not here tonight, but she did leave her communal embroidery hoop, and you all need to leave some stitches before you depart this evening. Iris Collective at Fillets Park. Public Secrets at Haddon Park. Written on the Body, McBride Park. No, sorry, I said that wrong. Uncle Honky's Fabulous Horn Shop at McLean Park. Gladscape Comics, Memorial South. The Bee Movie Factory at Moberly Park. Jimmy's over here making movies, of course. Fresh Fruits at Norquay Park. Chart at Oak Park. Dance Troupe Practice, Pandora Park. Instant Coffee at Second Beach. Somewhere. The Vancouver Society of Storytellers at Slocan Park. Yay! Village Vancouver at Strathcona Park, and the Urban Animal Agency, who are at the A-Frame in Stanley Park. Thank you all so much for your amazing work. I want to thank the Arts, Culture, and Engagement staff team for all their work facilitating these residencies for the past 3 years and for producing this amazing exhibition. A special shout out to Cindy Shualas and Lori Wager, both of whom retired this year and came back as volunteers to work on this exhibition and tonight's event. And also, as Michael said, we've grown this program in 2017 beyond the arts. So I want to say thank you to the Fieldhouse Activation team for their work in expanding the Fieldhouse project into sports and food and environmental stewardship. And finally, thank you to the Roundhouse staff team for their tireless and attentive work installing this gorgeous exhibition. Field Guides is presented by the Vancouver Park Board and the Roundhouse Community Arts and Recreation Center. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm Michael's laughing. Thank you, Michael. My name's Sarah. I'm one of your park board commissioners, and I just wanted to give you a huge shout out and a huge round of appreciation for all that you do to bring such amazing grassroots connection to arts and sports and food security and into our parks. It is an amazing program. I have to give a shout out to Marie. I'm not sure if she got one earlier, but I think she deserves one. Do you want to give her a hand? And we could not be more proud, because we may be the Vancouver Board of Parks and Recreation, but I think it's very fitting that we are here at the Roundhouse Arts and Recreation Centre. And I think that really embodies the spirit of the fact that arts is embedded deeply in the park board. We actually had an arts policy before the City of Vancouver did. Yes, I know, a little well-kept secret. And it's very important to us that that is part of activating our public spaces, from public art right down to the more human connections that you bring. So I just want to say thank you. It's nice to see everybody. Have a great night.
So that was all the speeches and the presentations. That was pretty cool. So what we're going to do now is just take a quick look at some of these other field houses and see maybe if we can find ours somewhere. Just died.
Well, today was our budget meeting. That was what really helped. Yeah, because the MSP changed this week a little, so the budget. So they've
Hold on, I recognize that crew. Whoa, that's very interesting. What's going on here? That's our wall. So, I found our wall, and it's got one of our videos playing on it. That's really cool. Well, let's take a closer look. It's cool. Oh, all our films. Look at all our films, all playing at the same time. Well, that is the Roundhouse Theater. Roundhouse? And those are all the other field houses that are having a good time tonight. Okay, well, very happy. We're doing a lot of people are watching our wall, and we're having a good time here. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and good night.